Lesson 7.5, the coordinate plane. The directions say use the coordinate plane below to answer the questions. So most of us in life have familiarity with the concept of GPS, and of course the old game of Battleship, where you are using the same concept of identifying a specific location based on where you're at horizontally and where you're at vertically. When we talk about the coordinate plane, it's a grid that is characterized by an x-axis, which tells you where you are from left to right, along with a y-axis, which tells you where you're at vertically. On this coordinate plane, we have 4 points: P, Q, R, and S. Our first set of directions ask us to write an ordered pair to represent the location of each point. Whenever we're talking about using an ordered pair to show or represent the location of a point, it's always from the perspective of the origin. The origin is your starting point, your 0, 0 point. From here, to get to point P, we would say we go 1 across and 8 up. So our ordered pairs can be surrounded by parentheses. Starting with 0, we go 1 across, then I'm going to put a comma, and then we go 8 up. Now, sometimes when you're learning this in 4th or 5th grade, students will get these two mixed up. So the way that I remind you to think about it is you've got to walk before you can jump. Walk before you jump. So you're always going to be telling where you are along the x-axis, meaning how far you're walking, before you're going to tell where you're at on the y-axis, how high you're jumping. Let's put that in action here for point Q. Starting at the origin, we're going to walk 8 spaces, and we're going to jump 10. So our ordered pair is 8, 10. For point R, we're going to walk 3, jump 8. Point S, I'm going to walk 2, and jump 6. Next, we are asked to do the opposite. Plot and label a point at each location. Point W at 1, 1. Okay, so starting at the origin, I'm going to walk 1 and jump 1. I'm going to plot my point. I'm going to label it as W. Number 6, point X is at 1, 3. Starting at 0, I'm going to walk 1, I'm going to jump 3. And point Y is at 5, 3. I'm going to walk 5 and jump 3. Number 8, suppose points W, X, and Y represent 3 vertices of rectangle WXYZ. Where should point Z be plotted? Oh, and I see I actually made a tiny error in number 7. This was point Y. I gave it the wrong label. Not sure why I gave it an S, but let's update that because that's going to be important for this question that we're about to answer. Okay, so we see WXY is what we have just plotted. Now, it's saying suppose WX and Y are 3 vertices of a rectangle, meaning 3 corners. Where should point Z be plotted? Well, I think you can imagine the rectangle. We would plot Z right here. And the name of that ordered pair would be starting at 0. I'm going to walk 5 and jump 1, 5, 1. And it says, then use a ruler to draw the rectangle. I do not have a ruler handy at the moment, so in the interest of the video, I'm just going to try to be as precise as possible without the ruler. Not bad, not bad. Number 9, what ordered pair represents the point at the center of the rectangle? Okay, let's go back to the rectangle. There's our center point. And what ordered pair would you use to describe that location? Starting here, we're going to walk 3 and go up 2. Sounds like 3, 2. And then finally, use subtraction to find the lengths of segments WX and XY. Show your work. Okay, so a line segment, of course, is a part of a line. In this case, it would be one of the sides of the rectangle we have drawn. Here is the line segment WX. Here is the line segment XY. How do we find the lengths of each of these segments? Well, WX, what do they have in common? They have the same x coordinate, don't they? They both have an x coordinate of 1, but the y coordinate is different. X has a y coordinate of 3, W has a y coordinate of 1. So for WX, we would say we're simply going to take the 3 minus the 1 from the y coordinates and get a length of 2. How about XY? For XY, what do they have in common? They have the same y coordinate, but their x coordinates are different. Y has an x coordinate of 5. X has a x coordinate of 1. So the length of this segment, of course, is going to be 5 minus 1. Or 4.